Welcome to Wisdom of the World. Today I'm going to tell a story from the Hausa in northern Nigeria in Africa. And it's a story about how do you handle sibling rivalry? That is, the rivalry or the competition between brothers and sisters, often for the love of their father or their mother. And the story is called Sibling Rivalry. And it goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a couple, and they had two sons. They loved their two sons, but they really wanted a girl. And so both the father and the mother were delighted when finally a girl was born. And the father bought the finest cloth for her. And over the years, they really spoiled her. They did not make her do any work. The work was for the boys. The boys had to go out and get firewood and cut it and make sure there was water for the family. The girl didn't have to do anything. Now, one day when the girl was about 10 years old, her brothers, Halabu and Saidesa, asked her to come with them on that daily chore of going to get wood in the forest. And they said, you don't have to do anything difficult. We just want you to make bundles of the wood that we will cut higher up in the trees. We don't ask you to do that work, only that, bundling up. So the girl happily came along, and they went quite deep in the forest, and she did as her brother asked, and she made a big bundle of wood. And the older brother, Halabu, asked the younger brother, said, please take this bundle already to the end of the forest, so it's easier for us. From there, we then only have to take it to our father and mother's house. And so he went off, Sadisha, and they heard him going off. It was heavy. And at that moment, the older brother, Halabu, really got a big bout, overwhelmed by jealousy. And he took his sister and she, slung her over his shoulder, and he climbed up a tree, and any twig, whatever branch that was in his way, he cut it off. He climbed higher and higher and higher. And when he was almost at the top, he put the sister down and he tied her with, one of those lianes, one of those natural ropes, and tied her with her feet, with her body and her hands, so she could not get down. And then he left her. Now she was terrified. She was shaking all over, so much that she didn't, on her way up, she didn't dare to move because she was afraid that she would fall. So she thought, just let my brother do. And then the brother went down and immediately started looking for the other brother, Sadesha, the younger brother, and said, hey, our sister is lost. You have to come and help me look for her. Because otherwise, if we don't bring her home, Father will be angry with us. So he finally found the younger brother, and he said, well, where did she go? And he pointed in the opposite direction. So they looked and looked and looked, of course, in vain. Finally, it turned dark, and they came home. And the father was furious. He says, why didn't you watch her? Why did you take her in the first place? That's your job, my sons. And they just stood looking at the ground as their father yelled at him. In the meantime, the girl was still terrified, but she had come to, she fainted, and then she came to. And she was just spending the night there on top of that tree. She was trying to scream for help. And then in the early morning hours, she kept screaming for help. And then there was a group of traders that came by. And they first thought, was the wind. They heard some strange sound, and they looked up. It must be birds. And then one of the traders looked up and saw somebody moving. And so immediately climbed up the tree, cut the girl loose, and took her down. And he asked her, "Who tied you up?" And the girl told him the story. And he listened very carefully, and he said, "You cannot go back to your father's house because your brother will again harm you. So come with me. My wife and I, we have no children. We will raise you as our own daughter." And so she did. She went with them, and that couple was very nice, very sweet to her. Indeed, treated her as if she was their daughter. Now, 6, 7, 8 years later, she was in those days, in that part of the world, she was of marriageable age, and so the father started to look for somebody who was fine enough to marry her. And at the same time, her real father back home had asked the older son, I said, "You should go out and find yourself also a wife. It is time now." And he, the usual presents of cloth and cola nuts and whatever were taken by the older brother, Halabu. And he set out, and he went far and far away, and finally he said, "Is this the village where the beautiful girls of this area live?" And they said, "Yes, I guess so." And so he knocked on the door of the foster father of this girl, the trader, and said, "I hear that your daughter is really beautiful. May I see her?" And the girl also saw him, but at first didn't recognize him, and he didn't recognize. But when she heard him speak, then she recognized that was her older brother. But she didn't say anything. And, her foster father thought that he would make a good match for what he thought was his daughter. So the deal was made, and so she traveled back. With a bit of a heavy heart, she said goodbye to her foster family. And on the way, her elder brother tried to talk to her, but she would not answer. She was very sad. And then her heart became very heavy when they approached their house, her original house too. And her father and mother also didn't recognize her right away, And but she was crying. And they said, "Why? She should be happy. Why is she crying?" And then she had been given a pestle. I don't know, a pestle is what you pound grain with as a goodbye present by her foster parents. And so she was pounding grains. And in that part of the world, when women pound grains, they sing songs about their personal feelings. This is how other women know about what they actually are going through. So she sang a song about, how can I marry my own brother? How will my father and mother recognize me? And so other women heard that story, and the father and mother also were alerted, and they said, could this be our daughter, long lost? And then the father said, I know how we can find out. And he said, do you have a scar on your back? And the girl said, yes, I do. I totally forgot about that scar. One time when as a child, she rolled into the fire, too close to the fire. So they looked at her back, and sure enough, there was the scar. And then, of course, there was a very happy reunion, and there was a party given, and everybody, the whole village came and celebrated, except for one. The oldest brother, Halabu, felt so ashamed of what he had done that he quietly left the house and never ever came back. So what to do when feelings of jealousy or competition arise from for your brothers and your sisters? I'm not sure I have a specific answer there. The general answer is become aware of those feelings and realize that they're just only feelings, just thoughts. Then maybe if you see that or think about it, you can overcome them. Thank you.